All right. Hello. Had some problems here. Don't know what happened. Looks like we're gonna lose all the people that clicked on the link because I have a new link now. Alrighty. Have to send everybody a new link. Let's see if we can do this. Well, looks like we've got some people here. Alright guys, let me know where you are from and how long you've been playing Oud, if you've been playing Oud. I want to hear about that. Where are you at in your Oud playing? That's important to know. And what are you having challenges with right now with the Oud? Please let me know. Say hello, tell me where you're from. I'm gonna send out another quick email. Hopefully doesn't look like spam. It's really too bad when that happens. I want to make sure as many people see this lesson as all right, we're gonna send it in to everyone who send it again. Fix that link. All right, I sent that out there. Hope you don't mind getting a couple emails. All right, we're gonna play some Oud. I want to tell you what my tuning is. Get your Ouds in tune. We got from the first string, the lowest to the floor. We got C, Do. We got G or Sol. We've got D or Re. We've got A or La, we've got F or Fa, and we've got C, Do. All right. Hey guys, good to see you here. Okay, what are you struggling with the Oud these days? This is makam huzam, also known as makam sika. starts on the E half flat or E quarter flat. We have the Sika tetrachord or trichord. We have the Hijaz on the G. Often when we play this makam, especially Sika-based makams, we like to ornament that tonic, the quarter tone or the half flat. Makes it sound a bit stronger, it's a very unstable tone, so it needs some help to stabilize. For you, Muhammad. Makam is the mode, the melodic mode, and makam. We have in Western music we have scales. In Eastern music we have makam. Also, in different traditions, they may have different words for these, but you can roughly translate it as a musical mode. Hey Martin, good to see you here. The first level of a makam is what the notes are, what the intervals are. The intervals have are important to know when you're playing a makam. Makam Nahavand, we have C, D, E flat, F, G. We have A flat, we have B flat, we also have a B natural, and we have C. These are the intervals. This is only the surface level of what a makam is. The next level is the intonation, specific intonation for each of these notes. And second level is the building blocks. Each section of a makam, each 4 or 5 notes of a makam can be characterized by a certain building block. What they call, in Arabic, they call jins. In plural, ajnas. In Farsi, they call it dong. And the first jins of Nahawand is basically 5 notes. So that's what they call jins Nahawand. And then from the G note to the octave, we have 2 options, 2 jins. We have the Hijaz jins, jins Hijaz, and we have jins Kurd. Different notes. So we have these different options, these different melodic options. They're like a fundamental characteristic of what makes up a makam. This is the second level of learning of what a makam is. The third level is the hardest part. It's learning the characteristic melodies that are played in each makam. If you take makam Nahawand, for example, and play it, take a Western musician and get them to play something in that makam, they would sound like Western music. But if you play it like a Middle Eastern musician, it's because of the way that you play the melodies and the way that you have phrasing that makes it unique, that makes it makam music. So that's a little brief explanation of what a makam is. Thanks for that question. So how long have I been playing the oud? I've been playing the oud for more than 20 years, almost 25 years. I started when I was in high school, but I was playing Middle Eastern music. I was playing Persian santur before that from the age of 10. And I started playing in high school. It was about around the year 2000. But I wasn't playing very seriously until 2005. So it's been over 20 years. Yeah, so there's all kinds of places online where you can get answers to terms of like makam, hijaz, jins, other Arabic words. There's lots of places online where you can learn this stuff. I'm happy to answer any questions like that. Today I wanted to talk about an interesting way of playing oud, which you hear from time to time. This is makam kurd on A. A song in that's sung by Fairuz, Lebanese song Nasam Alayna al-Hawa. Now, this is the basic way of playing it. You can see I'm doing a lot of downstrokes. I'm saving the upstrokes for the ornamentation, the notes in between the main melody. And there's so many nice ways of ornamenting this song. I have a deal on my ornaments masterclass, which my online oud ornaments class that I'll be promoting in a week or so. So I wanted to talk about ornaments and show how important these types of ornaments are. This is an ornament that, not necessarily an ornament that is often taught. It's something you kind of learn on your own, and so this is an important thing to see and experience. We have the basic notes of the melody, and a very rough style of playing oud, or more rustic kind of, let's call it like a village way of playing oud. I would like to call it a village way of playing oud, is to keep the right and keep the down and up strokes happening all the time, and incorporating some rhythm into the melody you're playing. So for example, the melody we have in Nasam Alayna al-Hawa is like that. Now, we can fill in all that by doing some down-ups happening here. And then the rhythm comes out by which stroke we ornament. It requires you to know what the rhythm is, of course. In this song, it's a maksum or baladi. Doom tek tek doom tek doom tek tek doom tek. It's very heavy on the 1 and the 3. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a very rustic, very kind of village-like way of playing, very organic and very natural way to play the oud. Once you get to a good level where you're really feeling the rhythm as you play, beyond the melody, but incorporating the rhythm into your playing. So it requires you to really know the song before you can play like this. But I can show you simple idea of how it works. So for example, we've got just all downstrokes. The notes are G, A, B flat, A, G, G, A, B flat, A. So all you got to do is add notes to that. Make each note 2 or 4. So if you have G, you create down, up. So you basically are taking these 8th notes and turning them into 16th notes. And then we take a quarter note and play 4 strokes over it. And you notice how I'm doing the first downstroke of each beat very heavy. This is an ornament in itself because you're ornamenting that as opposed to the others. You're playing it more stronger as opposed to the other notes. So that's how we do this ornament. I call this doubling up. I actually do teach this in the ornaments course, but I teach it in a very specific way, not to overuse it. The way that I'm playing right now is overusing this technique. When you don't have a percussionist, sometimes you need to do this as an oud player to make it dynamic, to make everything flow, and to make people feel the rhythm. But you don't have to do it. You can do, once you learn this technique and you know how to apply it to everywhere, then you can kind of pull off a little bit and add some tasteful ways of doing it. For example, just don't do it all the time. Leave some space in between your playing. So for example, if I wanted to do it in a very ornamented way but not too much doubling, I do it like this. As you see, I'm always going back to the low bass A when I hit that, when that A comes out. That's a very nice ornament. You're basically supporting that note with a low bass string. And it really sounds very powerful, very beautiful. I go down to that D. I hit the low bass D and come back up. So you can use this ornament, this doubling technique. Basically, you're just doubling each note that you have, or quadrupling each note, depending on how much space you have. And you're putting that over top of the melody and creating some rhythm by emphasizing certain strokes, the downstrokes, the downbeats. But you don't want to overuse it too much. Otherwise, it's just going to be tiresome for the ears. So you want to put some space in there too. So I want to answer a couple questions here. Thanks, Woody, for coming. It's good to see you. Seagull, how long does it take to become a professional oud player? I mean, that's a good question. I mean, I'll tell you how long it takes for you to basically learn most of what you need to get to becoming a professional oud player. If you practice regularly for at least 4 years, the first 2 years are the hardest. That's where you're going through physical pain and struggling with figuring out how to hold this thing and to play it effectively. And then, but once you get over that and you know the basics, it starts to go from there. I'd say if you give it solid practice, and let's say if you practice for an hour a day with a day break, every day for 4 years, you will have come a very long way. You'll be well on your way to becoming a professional oud player. But everybody's different. Some people progress faster or slower, and it depends on what their goals are. You can't there's no one recipe for everybody. I'll tell you what the biggest hurdles were. The biggest hurdle was like the first year for me was to hold this thing and to make sure figure out how to get the fingers to properly get the strings and get the right spacing. I had to experiment myself with different things. I couldn't quite make my hand look like my teacher's hand. That was bothering me for a while, and but eventually, like, these problems just disappeared after doing things consistently. I have my own technique. I didn't follow completely my teacher's way of doing things, but now everything works very well. So that was the first hurdle. And then the next hurdle is learning up the neck and being able to play effectively up here, because that's very technical. And, it took a while I didn't really, we play the oud plays mostly over here. We're always in this zone, especially the first 2 years of playing. Most of the songs you're going to play are not going to require you to go beyond the first position and what I call the second position. And so, the next hurdle is getting up here. So learning the techniques and how to go up and down properly, it takes some time to work that out. Good questions, Matin. What does a charmaz-rob sound like on oud? For everyone who doesn't know, charmaz-rob is a Persian style of form of music, which is very dynamic, and it's usually in the rhythm of 6/8 or 6/16. So it's something like that. And charmaz-rob, I haven't played one in a while, but let me see if I can play one for you here. Just something improvised, completely made up. That's a little improvised charmaz-rob in Esfahan. Yeah, so Avaz Esfahan is the daska. Boaz, what order do you go about replacing your oud strings so that they don't cross each other in the wrong ways? That's a really tough question, because it depends on how your oud pegs are set up, and it depends on where the holes are in each peg. So it's not there's not one answer. You have to figure out for your oud how the maker determined that the oud should be strung up. If you do it your own way, it might not work out for the way that your oud strings are. Like I usually have this problem where the way that I like to do it, basically, there's two ways which I like. You've got highest string 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sixth string is the bass string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So the first string I put over here. This is the traditional way. First string, second string, third string, fourth, and then fifth courses, and then the last sixth. That's the Turkish Arabic way of doing it. And they cross in funny ways. And it's no problem. You can totally get them to align properly, just depending on where the hole is. Sometimes the hole is on one side and you want to get the loops on one side and it doesn't really work out, so you have to put the loops on another side. This oud is strung up a different way. We've got first string, second string, third string, fourth string, fifth string, sixth string. Hopefully you guys saw that. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that it's very easy, a bit easier to actually prevent them from crossing each other. But really the crux of it is where that hole is where you put the string in, because that will determine how far, where you can put the loops. So it's a hard question to answer, because I need to see your oud, and you sometimes not one answer is going to work. Good question. Why is it so hard to find a Persian oud but so many Turkish and Arabic ouds? Probably because of the sanctions that are going on right now. For many years, Iran has been under sanctions from the U.S. government, and it's been difficult for oud makers to actually market their ouds internationally. So it's not easy. Also, the people who are making ouds, they're usually very high quality ouds. They're not factory made, and so they're smaller operations, and so that it makes it more limited. You have to get in touch with the luthier in person, or they may not have a website. You may have to contact them through their whatever social media accounts or something, and then contact them and request something specifically ordered. In Turkey and Arab countries, they're factory made, so there's larger companies that are making ouds, and they're making them they're not all handmade. They're all heavily made by machines, and there's more factory kind of industry that's made. So, and also the oud is not the principal musical instrument in Iran. So it's kind of it's not really that important in Iranian music, honestly speaking. It only came back to Iranian music in the last 30 years or so, really strongly, and now in the last 20 years there's a lot of young people playing the oud, so it's really come back now. So that's another reason why they're not so available. But in Turkey and in Arab countries, oud is one of the main instruments that is played, and so that's why it's harder to find Persian made ouds. But you can, it's just that they might be more expensive. You have to order them in advance, all that kind of thing. Good question about difference between Barbat and Persian oud. Barbat and Persian oud are synonymous names. Barbat is a kind of a new design based on ancient pictures from pre-Islamic and after Islam time periods. Barbat has a little bit of a smaller bowl and a longer neck, and there's different interpretations of a barbat too. So you can call an oud a barbat in Iran. there'd be no big deal. It's synonymous with oud. Barbat oud is synonymous. But if you want to talk about the Barbat that's been recently created, that people like Hossein Behruzania exclusively play Barbat, it's got a little bit longer neck and shorter bowl. The same scale length as a normal oud. It's just a slightly different design, a different sound. Usually just has one sound hole, sometimes three. But it's just a little bit of a different design, and so it does sound different than a Turkish or Arabic oud. So yeah, thanks for all these questions. I really appreciate it. That's what I wanted to talk about ornamentation. In my ornamentation class, the doubling, I teach doubling, I teach tremolo, I teach what I call tremolo bursts, which are these 3 fast strokes, down, up, down strokes. So this is one important ornament that I've shown you, doubling up, taking one melody. You can do this on a scale, for example. Take a scale that you know very well. Let's say makam Kurd on A. And just play each note twice. Each melody that you have in a song, for example, see if you can support that melody with an extra note. For example, let's see, there's this dulab in Rast. Okay, it's very easy, one note, downstroke. Now if you double the notes, it becomes like this. That's an ornament, adding these ornamentations. You don't want to do it again. You want to be tasteful with your application of this. Yeah, there's other ornaments as well, of course, vibrato. Hammer-ons and pull-offs and grace notes, all these kind of things. These are all taught in the Ornaments Masterclass and how to apply them. So there's another question here. When I make a melody on the high strings, I don't know which low note to use as a pedal note. That depends on the makam that you're playing. So usually, let's say you're doing if you're doing a scale based in C. Let's say those are the notes you're doing. The C note works really well for that. It really depends on the makam. You could also use the G note as well. So it depends on the scale that you're playing, and that would take really depends. If you're doing the key of C, you can use C as a pedal note. Sometimes we play the same note. You have the F, you use the F as a pedal note. You play the G, you use the G as a pedal note. You use the E flat, you use the E as a pedal note. Sometimes that works too. It really just depends on the context. So if you're improvising in a melody, it depends on what scale you're playing. Usually you can just use the tonic. When the melody starts to fall on G, you can use G as the pedal note. using C as the pedal note. So if you don't, when you're, let's say, playing up here, you can't reach down here and play the C. You have to use the open C string. So sometimes there are cases when you don't have a pedal note available, depending on the scale that you're playing. This kind of makam negriz on C, I can use C as the pedal note. Let's say you're doing D bayat, for example. Then you would use your D string as the pedal note. I've moved to the C now. Have to tune this oud up. All right, so thanks for all these questions. I really enjoyed some of those. Happy to speak to you guys today and talk about oud melodies. Thanks so much, Caro, Woody, Mateen, for joining. Hugo, thanks for all those questions. Anno, thanks for coming. Good to see you guys all here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I have a few more minutes, so please, if you guys have any other questions about anything oud related, about my courses, whatever you like, I'm happy to answer. And yeah. There's a question out there about Hijaz kar for the following jins, like start in the hawand and followed by Hijaz kar. Not sure what you mean by that exactly, but Hijaz kar, as I know it in the Arabic tradition, beautiful makam, Hijaz kar. In the Turkish Ottoman tradition, Hijaz kar is a little bit different. It is a descending makam, so it starts always up at the high octave. And it starts by playing Hijaz up there. It's a bit different. Very beautiful makam. All right, if there's no questions, I will leave you to a good Friday evening. Hope you guys have a good one. and a good weekend. And as usual, I'm always available by email if you have any questions at support@OudforGuitarists.com. I'll put that in the chat here. And this month I'll be doing some promotions on Ouds, oud sales. If you're interested in buying your first oud or your second oud or your third oud, whatever. And then I'll also be doing a promotion on my ornaments masterclass. I'll be having some discounts when you bundle and join 2 courses. You can save some money. I like to always do that once in a while. And in these 2 courses that I'm planning on doing, one is the Ornaments Masterclass, where you learn these 5 or 6 ornaments that are very key to playing on the oud. They're essential ornaments. And they're very easy to learn in that you can systematically apply them. You can learn them with exercises. And then we learn a few pieces where you can really apply these. And the way that we apply these is to apply them to these pieces, and it gives you a template of how you can apply it to these specific types of phrases. And you get the idea after going through a few pieces, learning how to do those ornaments. And the other course is Egyptian Music Volume 1, where I teach basically 5 songs from Egyptian composers. Kulthum, an Kulthum piece composed by Zakaria Ahmad. We've got a Sayyid Darwish. We've got a contemporary composer, Mustafa Said, and some other ones I can't remember off the top of my head. Samra Ya Samra by Mahmoud Karim, I believe. And so that course also is heavily a little bit more heavy on ornamentation too. You'll be able to apply your ornaments that you learn in the masterclass to these songs, and it will be very rewarding in terms of how you apply tremolo, doubling, and all these kind of ornaments. Hi Carol, good question about Easy Oud Songs 3. I will be setting up Easy Oud Songs 3 as a separate purchase in addition to Easy Oud Songs 1 and 2. I need to compile that and get that going, but that will become available soon. Thanks for asking about that. So it was nice seeing you guys here. I'm really happy to see so many people coming and watching. Any last minute questions, get them out now. Otherwise, see you next time. See you around. Oh yeah, one more thing. If you are looking to buy an oud and you want to hear about the deals that we've got going on, and you're not on the oud sales email list for oud buyers, the email list I have for oud buyers, if you go to this link, you can sign up to get on the oud buyers list. And from time to time, maybe about every month, I tell you about what deals we have or what ouds are in stock, and you can check that out there. I am using one of these ouds that I do sell on my website right now. Most of them are out of stock. This is the Arabic Pro series. And I'm working with Ethnic Musical to sell these to folks. And it's a very nice instrument, really nice middle level kind of instrument. And will do the job for anyone. It's got a nice long ebony fingerboard, so that's a plus. And very nice sound, very deep, rich sound. I'm very impressed with this. Yeah, so if you're interested in buying a new oud, please get on that list, and you can hear more about deals that we've got every month. All right, thanks so much for joining, and have a great evening. Bye-bye.